Good afternoon, George Bauer at the KICD Ag Business Desk. We're going to lead off here with Brian Jennings, the CEO at the American Coalition of Ethanol, headquartered in Sioux Falls. Brian, the House Democrats last night passed a COVID relief package, another HEROES Act that would include money for renewable fuels.
That's right, George. It's a scaled-down version of the nearly $3 trillion HEROES Act that they unveiled earlier this year. It does contain language authored by Colin Peterson, chairman of the House Agriculture Committee, to reimburse biodiesel and ethanol producers for some of their economic losses in the first part of the year. As you and I have talked about, this would have to work its way through the Senate, and there are also side negotiations going on between Speaker Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Mnuchin on getting kind of an overall deal. So we're hopeful something can get done, but there's not a lot of time before Congress adjourns to go back and campaign.
Brian, I think you testified, or at least offered some written testimony, as Congress is starting to debate the New Generations Fuels Act, and I think I saw a news release from ACE saying that there are some positives in there, but also some pitfalls that might actually tip the balance back toward the oil companies.
Yeah, first of all, we want to thank Representative Sherry Bustos of Illinois for introducing the Next Generation Fuels Act. You're correct that from the standpoint of the American Coalition for Ethanol, there's a lot to like in the bill, but we have some concerns with it as well. The things we like include restoring credits for automakers to crank out more flexible fuel vehicles, making sure future vehicles and retail stations are compatible for E30 blends, which is a long-term goal for the industry, and creating a new marketplace, really. Demand for fuel that would contain a high degree of octane, which ethanol does, and which also reduces greenhouse gas emissions, which ethanol does. The concern we have with this legislation is that it sort of lumps all ethanol together when it comes to carbon emissions. And no two ethanol plants are the same. Every ethanol plant has sort of a unique carbon footprint. And the way the bill is written now, we're concerned it wouldn't reward plants really in your listening area, like the Little Sioux plant in Marcus or the Poet plant in Ashton or Quad County Corn Processors in Galva. It wouldn't reward those companies for the investments they've made over the years to reduce the carbon intensity of their ethanol. And so we're going to work with Representative Bustos to improve upon this bill as we go into 2021, and we're hoping that we can make some good progress.
Brian Jennings, CEO at the American Coalition for Ethanol in Sioux Falls. We appreciate the update this noon.
Always a pleasure to join you. Thank you.
Let's talk more about that story we first brought you at 6 o'clock this morning. The CME Group announced this week a new futures and options contract on cutout pork values. Tim Andreessen is in charge of new product development at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. He says that farmers might not buy or sell these options, but it will give them some new insights into how much their hogs are worth.
The lean hog index and the pork cutout index have historically always been tightly correlated, but over the years that relationship has started to become a bit more volatile. You often see this seasonally when certain cuts of meat are in high demand. For example, around the holidays, you might see the price of hams go up, but the price doesn't always make it back to the whole hog. Our customers have been asking for a more direct hedging tool that reflects the wholesale price of hogs after processing.
November 9th is the projected launch date. USDA has released the average August farm prices. In Iowa, the average price for corn was $3.08 per bushel, down 6 cents from July, 83 cents below August of 2019. Price for soybeans averaged $8.64. That was up 16 cents from the previous month and 36 cents above August of 2019. All hay prices in Iowa averaged $114 per ton in August, $9 above July, $3 below August 2019. The alfalfa price was $121 per bushel, $9 higher than August and equal to August of 2019. Oh, and then on the milk, it was $19.20 per 100 pounds, down $4.30 from the July cash price, 10 cents below 1 year ago levels. And the Iowa pork producers have announced the top 5 finalists for the 18th annual Best Breaded Pork Tenderloin Contest in the state, and they include Birdie's Burgers and Brews in Grettinger. Now, you might recall that Birdie's Burgers and Brews also made the top 10 in the Iowa Beef Producers, the Iowa Beef Industry Council, and Iowa Cattlemen's Association Top 10 Burger Contest. Other finalists are the Blind Pig in Cedar Rapids, Prairie Moon on Main in Prairiesburg, Sasquatch Jack's Hideaway in Waverly, and Bent's Smokehouse and Pub in Westgate. IPPA Marketing and Program Director Kelsey Sutter says that the top 5 finalists were selected this summer from 40 original entrants in the state. Pork producers received 4,500 nominations, 4,501 in fact, for 390 different establishments. First and second place winners will be named yet this month, October Pork Month, also being called Porktober 2020. That's the latest information from the KICD Ag Business Desk. We'll have your markets next.